The opening round of the lightweight tournament promises action-packed matchups, but this clash in particular stands above them all. The undefeated Joey Knight welcomes the debut of Street Beef's star Baby Hulk on March 23rd at Misfits and DAZN X Series 13. Gentlemen, my pleasure to welcome you in here. How are you? We'll start with Joey.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm all good. Looking forward to it. It's a short turnaround since the last one, but that's what we like, man. Straight back in there. And I know Baby Hulk's been very active himself, so good to not sit on it too long and enjoy the win and get straight back in there, man.
No time on the show for either guy. Baby Hulk, how have you been?
Oh man, I'm enjoying life. I'm having a great time.
Now, Joey, successful entry into the Misfits universe with the TKO of Most Wanted. How do you reflect on that debut? Like you said, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good fun. It was just good to get back in there and dust a few of the cobwebs off. I hadn't fought in a good 3-4 years or something before that fight. So good just to get back in there and get a little feel for it again, and get a chance to show a fraction of what I believe I can do. But at the same time, all respect to Most Wanted. I think people that know their boxing will know that the tougher tests are to come when you see me on more of a level playing field with guys in there with a bit more experience that can do a bit more, which is why I'm obviously massively excited for this fight, man, because I rate my opponent in this one, and I think that we're both going to be able to show the best parts of our game.
Absolutely. Best yet to come. Baby Hulk, what did you make of that TKO over Most Wanted?
Honestly, I haven't seen it yet. I'm still trying to break down everybody. I'm still kind of new to the game, but a finish in the first, like early in the run, excites me. Somebody with a lot of experience excites me. And as you guys know, I do MMA, and I just feel like I just fight. Like I don't care if it's 10-ounce gloves, 12-ounce gloves. It doesn't matter. Like I put hands on people, and I love to compete, and that's what I'm here to do.
Now, we're going to keep it with you, Baby Hulk. Tell us more about that. You've been competing since you were 14 years old. Enlighten us on that experience and background.
Oh, well, man, I'm just like any other hardworking guy. I found wrestling. I love that. Then took it to MMA and, other martial arts like that. So I'm just kind of a student of the game, man. Like I would pick up a martial arts. I really, try to engulf myself in it, try to put my all into it. And just the more years I put in, the more that, it gave me, the more I put into it.
The student of the game. Now, Joey, maybe he hasn't seen your fight. Have you watched any of Baby Hulk's tape?
Yeah, I'm one of the 49 million.
What was your takeaway?
I've watched Baby Hulk stuff, man. I'm impressed. I like it. It's good stuff. Listen, I've got no doubt if me and Baby Hulk got into it outside of a boxing ring, I'm probably not going to last too long. So let's thank God it's in a boxing ring, eh? But yeah, man, I respect it. Obviously, listen, boxing's a different sport. He'll know that himself. I've got absolutely no doubt that, like a lot of these MMA guys do, Baby Hulk will spar with boxers himself. And do you know what it is, man? A lot of the MMA guys, like, there's a very dangerous mistake you can make as a boxer where you think, he's an MMA guy, he ain't got hands. And it's like, listen, all these boys have got hands. Do you know what I mean? And if anything, the fact that they're not the most conventional can throw you off even more. So I don't ever look at that and think, I've got the boxing experience, so this is going to be straightforward for me. I give every opponent the respect that they deserve, no matter what sort of form of martial art that they've excelled in.
Baby Hulk, how would you describe your boxing? Obviously, coming from that MMA background.
Oh well, if you guys see my first couple of fights, I was winging shots, bro. Like if you get in this little circle, like I'm throwing bombs. But as I progress as a martial art, you start really getting in tune with the technique, and as I get more in tune with the technique, I get more in tune with the sport, and then I just love it more. And then instead of just becoming a tool that you could use to help yourself, you really kind of get attached to it and want to kind of discover and hone the nuances of it. But real quick, Joey, I really appreciate the kind words. And the thing with me, man, I believe a fighter is a fighter, bro. Like I don't care influence, I don't care if you put the time into it, you put the dedication into it. I don't care where you're coming from. If you really dedicate yourself to the art, and put the time in, I respect you. Any man that gets in that ring and willing to put their health and their livelihood on the line, I have a ton of respect for them.
Yeah, man, massive respect, bro. The same here.
I want to get into the physical stature because Baby Hulk, you might just be the shortest Misfits fighter of all time at a clean 5 feet tall. Joey, how do you feel about that matchup? Obviously, it's going to be weird trying to maybe pin him down on some of those shots.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about 5'6", so I've always, I've for the most part always been the smaller guy in a lot of my fights. Obviously, Most Wanted, the guy that I just boxed, he was probably a little bit shorter than me, but for the most part, like I was boxing at welterweight, which obviously in the MMA welterweight is a different weight, but in boxing it's 147. Yeah, so when I'm boxing at 147, I was boxing a lot of guys that were almost 6 foot. So maybe to an extent, I've shared certain experiences with Baby Hulk coming up against them bigger guys. And you know what, man? I'm not gonna lie, because at the end of the day, when we get in there and when we fight, the truth will be told then. But actually, I think it fucking suits you more to be the shorter guy in a fight. Like I've always loved being the shorter guy, man. If anything, sometimes when I've come up against the shorter guys, it's like, look, I've got to adjust here a little bit. It's harder to read their punches, whether they're going head, body. You know what I mean? So I think I think that as Baby Hulk, from the footage I've seen of him, has very clearly learned there's a lot of positives that can come from being the shorter guy if you're able to harness it well. So I think, yes, it's going to make for an exciting fight, man.
And Hulk, your experience being the shorter guy, 5 feet tall, how does that benefit you coming into this?
Well, I always say, like, the biggest benefit is I'm always fighting guys taller than me, and they're rarely ever going to fight someone as short as me. So I always have, like, an experience thing on it. And like you said, it's people like to play with that range and everything. Yeah, like, there's a range, but I have my range too. And when I get in my range, that's most, advantageous for me. So it's all about using, like, your weapons, your attributes, which is, best to your fighting style. And like I said, like, all my short kings stand up. We'll make sure you're in the front of the line so we see you.
Do you know what, man? Just to touch on that, what you're saying there as well. Like, this is Misfits Boxing, yeah. This isn't pro boxing. We're not trying to pad out records. We're trying to give the fans entertainment. So I think it would be foolish of me if my game plan was to come in there and just try and nick the jab and box at range and not do anything exciting and try and cruise my way to a points victory or something like that. I think that would be stupid of me, because ultimately, win, lose or draw, the fans are going to want to see exciting fights. So I can give away a little bit of my game plan now. I've got every intention of coming and having that sort of exciting dust up, which I'm sure both myself and Baby Hulk would sort of love to have.
I'm curious, obviously, Knight bringing the heat. Baby Hulk, give us a glimpse into what the fans can expect from you inside the ring.
Well, if you know my pro record, I have a 100% finish rate. If you've seen any of my Street Beast fights, you can see they get kind of dangerous. Dude, I don't know what a boring fight is. Like, I don't, to be honest, I don't really give a fuck about wins or losses. Like, I'm coming in to be entertaining. I'm coming in to hurt. And dude, like, I've had like camp. I go into a fight like, bro, if you get hurt, you get hurt. Like, there's doctors in the back. They're going to put some ice on your shit. It's going to be good. But I'm coming out there to do my thing, to impose my will. And if you can show me, like, that you that dude and you can keep me off your ass, then we could just we'll meet. We can, like, figure that out when we figure it out. But dude, all I know is get in your face, hard work, put the pedal to the metal, and we get off when you want to get off.
Will we see a double leg takedown from you, Baby Hulk?
Maybe just brushing up on my wrestling skills.
Shoot for the legs sometimes. You never know. Joey, I'm curious, a very seasoned boxer, you're right again, but you said couple-year layoff heading into that fight with Most Wanted. Describe the nerves in that Misfits debut.
Do you know what, right? It's weird because you always draw from prior experience. And one thing that I've always said is I don't like to not have nerves. I've had maybe 2 out of 9, 10 fights where I haven't been nervous before that fight against Most Wanted. And both of those performances did not go very well for me. I won the fights, but I didn't look good in winning the fights. So against Most Wanted, I was hoping that I would have those sort of nerves. But I think that maybe the fact we were in the same hotel and things like that, spending a lot of time around each other, I wasn't really nervous in that one, man. I really wasn't. But at the same time, like I said at the start, I try not to look too much at that performance because I think that it'd be naive to. I understand that the levels in boxing, you don't gradually step up like this. There's big jumps. And in my opinion, from Most Wanted to Baby Hulk is a massive jump. So I'm not really going to try and look at that Most Wanted fight and draw experience. I'm just going to try and deal with this one in front of me. So hopefully I'm nervous. I'm sure, listen, going to a different country. America's massive, man. I hate it when British fighters go over to America and go, I'm going to his backyard, because you're not going to his backyard. America's massive. But at the same time, I am going to America to do the fight. I'm hoping that'll put a bit of nerves in me. And I think that, under pressure, that's when you see the best of me.
Absolutely. And Baby Hulk, I don't want to guess, but I believe probably the biggest platform that you'll be competing on. What is your headspace coming into this and your mentality?
Dude, like, if you see how I kind of came up, dude, backyard in the dirt, cameras, no cameras, I kind of really don't care. Like, I'm here for the fight. I'm here for the kind of me and you part of it. I love the crowd. I love, entertaining the masses. That's what we do it for. But at the end of the day, it's one man against one man, and it could be a million people in there, or it could just be me and you. And that's just how I see it.
That's a fighter right there. You know what I mean? Joey, you've given Baby Hulk a lot of respect here. I want to ask a pointed question. Do you think that this will be a hard fight?
Yeah, I think it'd be a grueling fight. I think it'd be very tough. I think I need to be very fit for this fight. I think that sometimes in fights, and obviously Baby Hulk will know this himself, there's certain times in fights when, even though the fight is still going on physically, up here it's not going on anymore. Sometimes you might get 2-3 rounds in. There's a saying, in boxing. Boxing's the most honest conversation that two men can have. And it's ironic because neither man are talking. But what I mean by that is what your opponent's thinking in that fight. And I'd say a third of the fights I've had, I've been able to know after a round or two that ultimately you've consigned yourself to a loss here, and you just don't want to get hurt. And I'm not gonna put my foot on the gas sort of thing, because we're having a boxing match here and we'll see how it goes. One thing I do know is I can tell already by what I've seen from Baby Hulk, the fights I've seen him in, the weight and height advantages I've seen him give up, he ain't got that sort of mentality. So for every minute of every round, he's going to be pushing me hard. He's going to keep belief in there. He's going to be throwing bombs. And I think that, not that he'll plan for this, but in my head, if a fight was getting away from him on the scorecards and things like that, I don't think you're going to see Baby Hulk looking to just stay in there and finish the contest. He's going to try and take my head off. So I need to be on point for every second of every round.
I love it. Baby Hulk seems like always looking for the kill is what Joey's going to be expecting. What are your expectations coming into this?
Honestly, like I said, I know that this isn't, my forte. This isn't my sport. So I give a lot of respect to, another man's sport and him having a lot of experience in it. But besides that, I have a lot of belief in myself. I believe I could take a shot. I believe I could give a hell of a shot. And at the end of the day, it's a mentality. Like, yeah, you punch me in my face, I'll punch you in your face. But at the end of the day, who wants to be in there more? Who's willing to take more damage? Who's willing to leave it out there more? Who's willing to be see what's going on, adapt. So I'm ready for any and every type of fight that could be brought to me.
Both dogs. We'll see who bites the hardest. Last question for both of you. The predictions. Joey Knight, we'll start with you.
Do you know what? Yeah, I had this same question before the Most Wanted fight, and sometimes it might not be what the fans want to hear. They'd love to see me say that I'm going to go out there and finish Baby Hulk and whatever, and I'm sure the same. But for me, it's just a win, man. Win at all costs. Much like Baby Hulk was saying, I'm prepared for any style of fight. Back foot, front foot, a grueling fight, a chess match, whatever it is. I'm just looking to go out there and win. And in my performance, I want to give a lot of excitement off and have the fans excited to see me back in there again.
Baby Hulk, your prediction for this matchup?
Man, all I know is I work hard. I go in there and leave it all out there and let the chips fall where they may. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know I'm going to give it my all. Real quick, before we go, dude, who's this Wade guy? I was tagging some shit with Wade, and he had the rankings of us, and I was the very bottom. Can you tell me who that dude is?
I see it, yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is Wade?
Maybe Baby Knight versus or Baby Hulk versus Wade Pleb after this is what has to happen.
I don't know what I did, but I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, the worst? Come on now.
Well, hey, it looks like you've got something to prove, Baby Hulk. Knight versus Hulk exclusively on DAZN and Misfits X Series 13, March 23rd. It's either the continued rise of undefeated British boxer or a smashing debut of the Baby Hulk. Don't miss it.